This is the best budget phone Samsung has ever made, and in my opinion, this is the best budget smartphone, period. This is the Galaxy J3 Luna Pro. It costs $80, has a great screen, a sleek design, snappy performance, and a great camera. Oh, and it won't explode. So let's get into it. The first thing you'll notice when using any phone is the design, and with this phone it's really solid. Sure, it is entirely plastic, but I mean it's thin, it's light, there's no camera bump, and the back plastic has this really nice matte gray finish to it. On the front of the phone you'll find a 5-inch display surrounded by some pretty thin bezels and slightly curved glass on the edges. The screen is great, colors are accurate, contrast and brightness are on point, and while you won't get the deepest, inkiest blacks in the world because it's not AMOLED, the screen is definitely great for the price. It's also 720p, so it's definitely missing a few pixels compared to other phones like the S8 or the G6, but I mean that's okay. It's sharp enough for daily use, and it's definitely a solid screen overall. Now, when we dive into specs and software, this is where things get really interesting. First of all, we get the latest version of Android Nougat, which is really great, especially on a phone at this price. Also on this phone, we get the really great new TouchWiz interface, which I know is something you're probably not used to hearing, but on this phone we get a really clean, consistent implementation of TouchWiz that also runs ridiculously smoothly. I don't know what kind of witchcraft is going on here, but apps start up faster on this phone than they do on my other phone that costs twice as much, and I haven't seen any lag whatsoever since the day I picked up this phone. Speaking of performance, this is a pretty fast phone. Compared to the $45 smartphone I talked about in a previous video, this phone can actually handle some gaming. Surprisingly, even Asphalt 8 runs decently smoothly on this device. Also, battery life on this phone is quite a bit above average. It will easily last a full day with medium to heavy usage, and I'm particularly impressed at how well the phone holds its charge in standby. And now let's talk about the camera. Now, when it comes to cameras and phones at this price, one giant problem is over-sharpening of the images. However, this phone's pictures look great. It's not the highest resolution sensor at only 5 megapixels, but more importantly, the aperture is pretty wide, which means you can get better low-light performance and bokeh than you would at other phones at this price. Video shot by this phone in the max resolution of 1080p is also quite nice, but I do wish this phone had optical image stabilization. To conclude, the Galaxy J3 Luna Pro is an incredible smartphone, and it's a new take on the budget smartphone concept that other manufacturers really need to take a look at. It certainly is a budget phone at only $80, but it certainly doesn't feel like one, and that is incredible. Please subscribe to AeriumTV for more dope tech videos, and I will catch you guys in the next video.